Hey guys, how we doing today? So right now I'm gonna do a video. It's been a day, guys. We're looking rough today because it's been a day. But I want to do a little post here about sometimes what farming just kind of looks like. So here we have a Katahdin ewe lamb. Is she alive? Yes, she's alive. How long is she going to be alive? Probably not too terribly long. Let's talk about what happened and just the reality of life sometimes. Okay, so why is this poor little fella with me in the car? Because I had to take my daughter to work. I had to get a food pickup from Walmart, and I was late doing these things anyway because I had a ewe go into labor, and it's been a whole thing, and so I had to go and leave the house. So the baby came with me, and I didn't want to just leave her at home because I don't think she has very long, and I don't know, it's the nurse in me that's like, nothing should pass alone. I don't know. Okay, so what happened? Her mother is an older ewe. I was gonna call her from my herd last year, and I just bred her one more time. Whatever. Okay. So I knew this morning at like 9:30 that she was in early labor. Whatever. Hung out, watched her, and it was taking longer than I liked, which immediately kind of gave me some red flags because she's like 10 years old, so this is not her first rodeo, and she's usually a really quick laborer. So the fact that she had kind of a prolonged early labor, I was uncomfortable almost immediately about that. And so the bag of water eventually presented all these normal things, and there was just nothing much happening. So the red flags just kind of continued to like go off for me. And so like I did an internal exam, and I had to do something called feathering, which kind of stimulates them to want to push. She just like had no real want to do a lot of pushing, which I was like, usually when that happens, there's something caught up somewhere. Something is not coming down the log chute as it should. And so like they need pressure behind the cervix to get everything to open and contract, and like it's a well-oiled machine the way animals are designed to operate. So I knew something was just hooked up somewhere. And so again, I just kept working on her. It was taking a long time, and I'm just like, ugh. Finally, she delivered a nice, big, gorgeous ewe lamb. Fantastic. Baby got up right away, nursing, fantastic. But I knew by the size of Mom that there had to be more. She usually gives me triplets. And again, by this point, she was like done. Like she was fine. I mean, she was up and happy with the baby, but no contractions, nothing. And I'm like, this is so bad. So again, went in, we're doing the feathering technique, which I'll do a separate video on that. What that is, on an internal exam, all I felt was the afterbirth coming from baby number 1. And I'm like, what the heck? I know that she's not done. Something's not right. But I could feel nothing in the vaginal canal. Absolutely nothing was coming down the turnpike after. So I knew that, there was going to be an issue. So for those of you that say you need to call a vet, I'll probably do a separate video on that too, about why when you're a farmer, you don't call the vet for everything. I know that sounds harsh, people, and I know I'm going to get hate for it, but that's okay. I'm okay with it. I'll do a separate video on that. But anyway, so we trudged on throughout the day, and I'm just kept working with her, trying to get her going. getting baby on and nursing, because just nursing alone will release oxytocin, which stimulates contractions and gets everything going. So again, I feel nothing coming. She's pushing against my hand. There's nothing following up. She finally passes the afterbirth, and I'm just like, oh, Jesus, take the wheel. And finally, I feel something coming. We're talking hours. So, yeah. So finally, this one came, and I could tell that it was feet. And I knew that it was either a breech or upside down, like sunny side up presenting. Anyway, so as soon as I got grabbed on the feet, like our time of waiting and letting her just kind of give it herself. No, the baby I was like, you're coming with me. So pulled baby was breech. I thought it was DOA. And so that's what we have here. So got her out, took a look. She was barely breathing. So I do all the things. You just like really rub the heck out of them, get them to try to stimulate them. Swinging her around by her back legs like in a circle to try to get centrifugal force to suck stuff out of the lungs. I'm doing suction. I'm doing all the things. I did CPR on her for probably a half hour. All the things, and I'm just not able to bring her back. So I'm just kind of, she's wrapped up, she's dry, she's with me, and I'm just letting her pass on her own. So why do I think she's like this? What do I think happened? First of all, the prolonged labor didn't do anybody any favors. The fact that she was breech, when you have something breech, you have to work like a lot faster because they're backwards, right? So if they start breathing while they're in there, all they're getting is mouth and nose fulls of snot and fluid and grossness, which is exactly what I'm sure. She aspirated a ton. I got a ton out of her lungs and her nose, but she's still kind of rattly in there. And just oxygen deprivation. Just like with humans, when we have babies can't be without oxygen. Brain damage can happen. So I think, just a culmination of all of those things. Now we have a baby that's just not going to be viable, which sometimes happens. And, I could have rushed this little one off to a vet clinic and paid thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars, where they would have more like fancier suction devices that could have suctioned her better, but you still can't reverse the damage that was probably already done in there from being without oxygen for however long, or depleted oxygen for however long. And they could put a high volume oxygen on her and all these things, but the damage is already done. So, and is that terrible? Like I said, I'm gonna get hate for it, and that's okay. But if you have a flock of 100 ewes, let's say, that are going to deliver every season for you, and let's say every lamb that's born that has some difficulty, you're hauling off to a vet and paying, let's say, $3,000 for an emergency vet, you can take any profit that you had and kiss it goodbye. And if you're operating at a scale of that many animals, it's not a hobby farm. They're not your pets anymore. Is that harsh? Yeah. I'm not usually that direct and that harsh, but it's been a day for me. So today I am, and that's okay. But, so yeah. So what do we do? Where there's breath, there's hope. So we just keep working on it. We'll keep, and, she's warm, she's dry, she's feeling love. She's not suffering. If she was suffering, that's a whole different thing. If they're suffering, then they're dispatched immediately. But she's not suffering. She's just going to have a peaceful passing. So, yeah. Realities of farming, guys. It's not always fun and happy and amazing and exciting. And sometimes it's hard and it just sucks. And it doesn't matter what you do. It's just going to be hard. But it's okay. Tomorrow's a new day.